Ladies and gentlemen, happy Saturday morning. We are pre-recording this episode for you guys. KJ and I are live, as you guys can see, from Clearwater, Florida right now, reporting from Phillies spring training, having a great time. How fun was that game yesterday, KJ?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, we had an amazing time. Saw some great people. We saw Ash and Connor. That was cool. We saw a Philly sports guy, and I want to give a special shout out to Philly sports guy right now. He didn't have to do what he did. We personally have his number, so we just text him up and we're like, "Hey, we're here at the game," and he said, "Tell me where you're at. I'll be there in 10 minutes." And he just was there in literally about 10 minutes, and he was there all painted up, everything like the pinstripes. And you could already see people stopping him and bothering him and everything like that. But he was just like, he had one mission right there to go see KJ and Dalton. And to be honest, that meant a lot to both of us that he just did that out of the goodness of his heart. Like, seriously, like, he's a great guy. I mean, all the things that you hear like about him that are negative, it's not true at all. So he's a great guy. And I appreciate our friendship that we do have with him. So that was cool to see him. And as Dalton told me too, he looked like he was way happier than he is when he's in Philly. So that was cool to see.
He had a smile on his face. Sometimes when people aren't talking, you know what I mean? They have like that look on their face where they're just like looking around. I never smile, but you could tell he was extremely happy to be in Florida, and it was cool to see because you guys all know how hard Jamie works and the grind that he puts in to see it pay off like that and to see him be able to be rewarded like that. I think he's down here for 2 weeks, he said. Yeah. So stay tuned. And if you're a Phillies fan, getting your picture with the Philly sports guy is on your to-do list. It's something you got to do. Chris, how are you doing today, my man?
Hey, I'm doing good. You know, I just got done a whole bunch of work. We were working on something for about a month now, and we just finished the project. So super excited. Obviously, I'm excited for about a lot of the things the Eagles did, which we'll talk about in a bit. But let's hear a little bit more about the spring training.
So it's been a whole bunch of fun, and that's why if we aren't talking, we'll probably just mute here so that you guys don't have that awkward background noise. But Philly's spring training, man, was an absolute amazing, great time. The Phillies beat the Red Sox yesterday 6-1. Yep. Whit Merrifield, and I would say Schwarber probably had the best game in my opinion.
Pache did pretty good too.
Pache did pretty good. I was laying down in the field at that point, dying from sun poisoning, even though we had on sunblock. We just aren't used to the Florida sun. And like you were right, man. The Rum Runners recommendation.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, those Rum Runners, right, KJ?
Oh, they were great. I mean, that was the one thing that we were told by Chris, go get the Rum Runners and you'll have a good time for sure. And heck, did we have a good time. So, yeah, and honestly, it felt like I was – oh, wait, did I just turn this off?
No, you're good.
No, you can
okay,
still,
cool.
Yeah, you're fine.
My fault. So, yeah, it felt like we were like – I don't know. I felt like I was in the past and, like, I felt like I was in South Philly somehow. But, like, also, like, it was like I was in New Jersey at the same time. It was like combo of both, which was crazy. So – it just felt like it was like how Atlantic City has that ballpark. That's literally how it should look. So, I mean, that was like really cool. So maybe they take a page out of the book of Clearwater and they do something up in Atlantic City. Something.
Y'all got to come down. You got to come down to Lakewood this summer. It's basically the same ballpark.
Okay. Oh yeah, Lakewood. Yeah,
it's in Jersey.
Lakewood.
No, Lakewood.
Lakewood,
New Jersey.
Oh,
yeah,
in Jersey. Where's that?
Yeah. It's a little bit north of LBI.
The Blue Crabs, yeah.
The Blue Claws.
Blue Claws. They are crabs.
It's the Philly single A. It's a Philly single A team. It's a minor league stadium, but it's almost the exact same as Clearwater. It's not Frenchies, but it's another tiki bar type in left field. They got mini golf in right field. Like, it's really cool. They got the whole berm set up too. It's a really nice chill ballpark. Good drinks, good food. You guys would like it.
Berm is a vibe, dude, at spring training. I actually think, like, I'm more happy that we got to sit in berm rather than seats because, look, my whole life going to Phillies games, you're always in the same spot, right? Yeah. You're sitting there. You're in your seat. It's very rare occasion that you be able to sit down in grass and enjoy. It felt like a high school professional game. Like, that's what I think KJ's analogy was pretty good. Like, the ballpark there was really good. The food was very nostalgic. I mean, in my notes here, I got written down it felt like home away from home down here.
That's what I was trying to say. It felt like we were back home because literally, I would say like 5 minutes from us around here in Plant City, there's a Wawa. So, I mean, that kind of makes it like it's home. I'll tell you that for sure. They still, you know what? If people have been ever wondering this, do they call hoagies down here in Florida? They actually do, which is crazy.
Oh,
I checked that out, and they call them hoagies down here. So I thought they would call them subs or whatever and be delusional, but they're not. They actually call them by the specific correct name.
I love that too. What'd you say, Chris?
Is the pizza just as bad there as it is here?
So I will say this. We had Hungry Howie's. Hungry Howie's sucked, in my opinion. Hungry Howie's was probably a 6 out of 10. What would you give it rating-wise?
Yeah, around that. Maybe. Oh, yeah, as Jeff just said, a 4.
Jeff said a 4, Alyssa's dad over here. Yeah, so he's giving it not as generous as a rating as me. What are you giving it?
I'm going to give it probably around maybe a 5. But here's a good thing about it, though. It made a lot of – when we had we saw on the list for pizza places, we saw Hungry Howie's. We were like, how funny is that? Because literally Howie has been hungry this whole time we've been down here and also before we left as well in free agency. And we'll get into that in a little bit.
What a fucking segue, KJ.
It was like $24, I will say, for the pizza. And the one thing I will say before we move on real quick, they do have a Manco down here, Chris.
Ooh.
So we saw one in the stadium. We didn't get it and try it, but I have seen Jason Martinez try it, and he said very good things about it. And they also have, is there a place around you called Delco's, not singular, plural, Delco's with an S on the end, cheesesteaks?
Yeah, there's actually one. It's about 5 minutes from my investment properties. So yeah, I haven't actually tried it before because there's just so many good steak places around. But I should probably try it at some point.
Yeah. Is it Delco Steaks or is this one different?
It's Delco Steaks.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's the same. They just added an S on it down.
Was it orange?
No, it was just a black and white logo. So maybe it's a different. We'll have to research.
It's got like a bull on it, right?
It's got a bull.
I did not see a bull anywhere.
Oh.
I might be
maybe
wrong.
It's not the same one then.
I also was drinking a couple rum runners. Full disclosure. Thanks, Chris. So, it gets away from you, but
got to get double digits next year.
Yes. Yep. Moving along now, though, it was a ton of fun. Like we said, home away from home. The one downfall that KJ did say, there's no sports betting.
Yeah, that is the one thing about Florida. If you go down here and you're like, oh my gosh, this is like home. The one thing that we found out is if you want to sports bet, you can only sports bet at Hard Rock Casino in Tampa. That's the only place you can really bet. And that's like the downfall about Florida. That's the only downfall. But I think in a couple of years, I think you'll see a change. I think they will get it legal down here and they'll get the ball rolling for sure. So they'll get it done soon.
So addressing the elephant in the room, or I should really say the Thunder Thighs tree fucking trunks in the room. The Philadelphia Eagles bringing in Saquon. We know our guy Chris is super pumped about it.
Saquon. He's an eagle. He's an eagle. Giants fans suffer. I'm sorry, Giants fans. I love you guys, but
so I got a really good story about this. Because I was talking with good friend Jizzle, basically the whole day during free agency. And he's like, yo, there's no way the Eagles were actually signing Saquon. And I really didn't think it was going to happen either. Just because, I'm like, oh, he's going to the Texans. There's no way. He's not going to be an Eagle. And I'm on the phone with him, and he's like, we just saw something on Boston Scott was interested in going to the Giants. I'm like, oh, that would be a really good trade. You guys can take Boston Scott, and we'll take Saquon. We're like, well, I don't think I like that either. And then the Rappaport thing pops up like, oh my fucking God, we just got Saquon. I'm literally running. If you guys saw the TikTok, that was my full reaction. I was running around my investment property from top to bottom, screaming that we got Saquon. I'm sure everybody heard me. I'm like, I don't care. You know what?
What's up to the new neighbors? How you doing? I hope you guys are Eagles fans too.
Well, good thing it's on the market now. But just what he brings to this offense is incredible. You look at the money, it was 3 years, $37 million, which on the surface is a lot for a running back. But then you look at the type of player he is. He's not just going to be a running back. He's going to be a slot receiver for this team. He's going to be a blocker for this team. And he's one of the best elusive backs in the league. When you look at the value that you get for his money, Darnell Mooney signed for 3 years, $39 million. Saquon provides a lot more for the Eagles than Darnell Mooney does for, I believe it's the Falcons. Like, that next level it adds to the Eagles offense is scary. It's scary.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing. I had to I was at my house at that moment when the news broke out. I was like, oh my God. And my mom would just be like, what's going on? You okay? I'm like, no, the Eagles just signed Saquon Barkley. She has no idea.
I'm not okay, Mom. I get it.
And she has no idea really about the Eagles like that. She doesn't really know the players, especially the opposing players. So I said, I got to go to my car. So went to my car and I reacted to it on my TikTok channel. And I was flipping out, started singing the Saquon song. And I was in shock. And then I was telling Dalt when we were driving up here, I still can't process this whole thing. Like, it's still not processing properly that Saquon Barkley is a Philadelphia Eagle. He is going to be wearing the midnight green and hopefully scoring touchdowns on the Giants, Cowboys, and whoever else we freaking play. But it's crazy to think that Howie actually went for it and he gambled on it, and Saquon wanted to come here. So, and the whole thing with Tiki, it's funny because that guy is, and I've talked to Giants fans, he's the most irrelevant Giants player. Nobody really likes him in New York. So, and I mean, even Jizzle talked about it when we went live we were on our way to Florida the first night. And we talked to Jizzle about it. And he said, yeah, nobody really respects Tiki because he went to TV media. Yeah, he went to TV media the year before they went to the Super Bowl and won it. So that's where I'm just like, why does that guy even have a voice at all? So, yeah, I'm pumped for Saquon. This is going to be awesome. As Chris said, he is so versatile. I mean, he's a great player. He adds a lot to this offense that is already going to be a dangerous offense for sure. Because you got the two demons on the right and the left side of Devontae and AJ Brown. And then if the passing game isn't going well, you just give the ball to Saquon. So I think this is going to be a dangerous team. And we keep on just adding people. And the Cowboys are doing nothing. I mean, the Commanders are doing a little bit of something. But out of all the teams, I think maybe in the NFL, we have won the free agency. Like, we have won it. Like, I think on paper right now, we might have the best team out of all the teams during free agency.
The one thing I will say about Saquon, at first I was not about Saquon Barkley at all. I said to KJ in the car, I said, I don't want this to end up like DeMarco Murray 2.0. Knock on wood. But now that I've slept on it a couple of nights, we've had time to process. It's a big thing to process for Eagles fans. Seeing this guy in midnight green now, like KJ's mentioned, in our uniform, it's going to take, I think, months to fully process. I don't think we're going to fully process it until September when we see it.
I think until you see a couple games. I think until you see him score a touchdown with the Eagles, you'll be like, yeah, he's ours.
But the one thing I'll say that has me very excited, Saquon Barkley's never played with the fucking line like this. He's always been stuck with the New Yuck Giants and their bum-ass drafting at offensive line. So I do think, in my opinion, that we're going to see an upgrade with Saquon Barkley, a little bit better. I'm just personally worried that if it does go south, it's going to end up like DeMarco Murray. But I guess that's why you have Howie Roseman, who structures these deals like this. A little bit nervous, but that's because we're a Philly fan.
His contract is only $4 million against the cap this year. Howie Roseman's a fucking absolute genius with these contracts. His cap hit, and they'll probably just restructure at the end of the year. It's really a 2-year deal with an option for a third. Like, Howie Roseman just knows what he's doing with these contracts, and there's no one I'd rather trust being our GM with the contracts than Howie Roseman. He's just a wizard with all the cap. Like, there's no way the Eagles should have this many players.
But they do. That's how Howie Roseman is. I mean, he just fucking keeps making it happen and happen and happen and happen. I mean, these free agency signings. But before we move into that, this tampering bullshit with Saquon. Chris, go ahead and take it first. I mean, what were your thoughts on the tampering?
First, my thoughts were, fuck you, James Franklin. Shut your mouth. I'm tired of your shit.
Yeah.
As a Penn State fan, get the fuck out. I am so done with James Franklin. Now, not only is he screwing over my college football team every single year because he's a terrible coach, now he's going to go out and say shit, which, listen, do the Eagles probably tamper? Yeah. I mean, but every single team does it. Like, how are you going to sign a multi-million-dollar contract with a player without talking to him first? The fact that's even a rule that you can't talk to the player, you can only talk to the agent, is dumb. So, yeah, I do think the Eagles tampered. But the problem is, if you go after the Eagles for this, you're going to have to go after a lot of teams, because 2 years in a row, the Bears have signed players from the Eagles 10 minutes after free agency started. Doesn't happen like that. Contracts don't happen like that. Negotiations don't happen like that. Dalton and I both know as business people, it doesn't happen like that. So, like,
60 seconds, they made a deal, bro.
I've never been in contract negotiation that quickly, but that's just me. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, and the Eagles got screwed over with tampering last year with Jonathan Gannon, and they only got a 3rd-round pick swap. So I don't know what's going to happen here. We'll see.
In my opinion, it's like you said, every team does it. The Eagles just got caught. However, it was 100% worth it. Go tamper again. Whoever the hell did it, if we only have to give up a 7th-round pick to get Saquon Barkley, take it. Keep it. Have fun. Whatever. It's worth it at that point. But you're right. Every team does it. I think that they should take another look at that rule, because Kirk Cousins is also getting hit with it too. And in my opinion, if you don't want players to maybe tamper, maybe move up the timeline. You know what I mean? Maybe make players able to talk a little bit earlier.
I don't think it's going to matter when you do it. People are going to talk early no matter what. I think you're just going to keep turning a blind eye to it. And that's all really, like, whatever. Unless it's so egregious, like, I don't think it's going to matter. And I don't think this was really egregious. Saquon denied the whole thing, which he should. Saquon actually handled the questions about it in his interview extremely well. Said, yeah, there was a misunderstanding. The whole presentation was through my agent, which, whether it was or not, I don't know. I don't think it was, but we'll see.
I love his attitude. I really do. He was a player when he was on the Giants. I was jealous as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and I never wanted to admit it. I hate to say it. Sorry, Colin. Sorry, Matt Bear. Sorry, Jizzle. Pauls. Greedy. The whole list goes on and on and on.
I know a lot of Giants fans. That's
even our boy Mr. Jack. You know what I mean? The guy that we made the video with last year. But Saquon Barkley was always a player that when we went up against him, I was like, shit, we got to go up against this dude. And now we have him on our team. So it is amazing, and it's still setting in. KJ's got all the Miles Sanders jerseys and all the 2-6 jerseys ready. He's starting McCoy jersey company coming up soon.
Trying to vamp it up.
But in all seriousness, that's one thing I want to say too. Miles Sanders has got to feel like shit right now, right? Like, look at.
Yeah, Chris has never. I'll tell you.
I feel bad for him. I have a sweet spot.
I don't feel bad for him at all. He got replaced. He was a bum at Penn State. He was a bum here. He's still a bum now. We got the real player we were supposed to get. Saquon. Saquon was always meant to be an Eagle.
Yeah, I mean, to piggyback off what Chris was saying, I mean, I'm also a Penn State fan too, so I've been frustrated with James Franklin in general. Anyway, I have a bunch of buddies who are Penn State fans as well, and we've been saying for a couple of years now, James Franklin's got to go. And when he got that contract extension, we were literally pulling our hair out. Like, why? Why is this even like a choice at all? Like, this shouldn't even be happening. But yeah, James Franklin is stupid for saying anything like that. It just shows that he just doesn't care about like Saquon's like in general. Maybe he does, but I mean, he kind of just screwed up there, because that's a really big screw up for sure. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. And I mean, yeah, a bunch of teams do this. A bunch of teams go through this whole tampering thing. As Dalton was just saying, Kirk Cousins the Falcons might get caught for it as well. But yeah, I think the only really like punishment there should be is maybe like a 7th round pick. You don't have to take like away like a 2nd round or a 3rd round. And if they take away a 1st round, there's no way. But for instance, if they do, I mean, that is just horrific. That makes no sense at all. But yeah, is it worth it for Saquon? I think so. So we'll see what happens. And I just cannot wait to see him in Kelly Green, Midnight Green. And, but the NFL has more important things to worry about than us tampering. Like, come on.
But us,
Prescott
like Chris said,
Yeah.
we have to worry about, we should start a mob and show up at James Franklin's house with pitchforks. No, I'm kidding. But in all seriousness, shut the hell up, James Franklin. I'm so glad that you said that, Chris. I just want to infuse that one last time. I'm not even a Penn State fan, but it's like that kid that raises his hand at the end of the day. Teacher forgot to assign homework. Everybody's like, yo, McCoy, let's go, bro. Yep. No homework, man. This is going to be sick. Let's go. And then, like, the kid's like,
we sat in the front
little
of class.
James Franklin, teacher, we have homework. And the whole class is like, dude, that's Howie Roseman right now. And he's going to get snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
I don't think the Eagles are going to go after any more Penn State players as long as he's there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But that fucks people over.
Yeah, I think it did.
I wouldn't either. That's a good point, though. But we've been talking a little bit more about these free agent signings. We might as well just dive right in. Chris, did you have a favorite free agent signing? A favorite?
Besides Saquon, the Bryce Huff signing to me really, really stands out. I think this is the Reddick signing all over again. You know, a 3-year, $50 million deal for a guy who's coming off a double-digit sack season. He comes in this defense with a really good rotation. They just restructured Sweat, so Sweat's going to be here. Nolan Smith. You got a lot of rushers in this defense. Jalen Carter, just adding him back in there reinforces the Howie Roseman loves the defensive line, and I think it's really going to help out this team. And he's young. He's 25 or 26. Like, he's going to be here for a little bit. It's really nice to have young edge rushers who you can rely on. It's nice to have.
But does the fact that he went, I think, undrafted, right? If I'm not mistaken, does that scare you at all? Because I had never heard of this guy at all until this year. And personally,
he can play.
Scares me a lot with the signing. Wasn't he like the second, or he's up there in highest paid, right? Like he's
No. They got him on a really good signing. They got him on a really good deal.
And how long is the deal again?
3 years.
3 years.
All right, Howard.
It's up to 51. At 50, it's not 51 guaranteed. He's probably only like 10 mil against the cap. To have a player at his caliber for that is like a steal.
So I guess that him and Josh Sweaty J, are going to be the new mindset. You texted us earlier too, Chris, I guess, as we're recording this, just so you guys know, in case any freaking breaking news happens between Friday night and Saturday. You never know, but how are you feeling about Sweaty J getting restructured?
I'm cool with it. I would have rather them traded Sweat and kept Reddick. They might still keep Reddick too. I'm not very sure, but I would have liked to see them trade Sweat, get some assets for him, and then go attack that secondary a little bit more. We'll talk about a couple of moves they did make in the secondary here soon, but I don't hate Sweat. I just don't think he's that good. I think he's like basically the same player that Huff is. We'll see. He's either going to be really good or just like continue to be eh.
Yeah, I think it was really interesting to see that they restructured his contract because, I mean, when me and Dalton were on our way down here, we thought that Josh Sweat, it was a matter of time before he was going to get traded. So we were like, oh, yeah, this kind of stinks. I mean, Josh Sweat didn't have that much of a productive season last season, but the year before he was pretty good. So we just thought he was going to get traded. But then I think since they got Devin White, which I feel like is a great signing, even though it is a one-year deal. I mean, Devin White wanted to be an Eagle. He was excited to be here. So I'm pumped to see that happen. And I think that's why they restructured Josh Sweat's contract, because maybe they tried to look for another linebacker, a veteran linebacker that can help you win now, but they couldn't find anyone. So they were just like, you know what? Let's just go with what's the guy's name? I just lost his name. The guy from LSU, Buccaneers guy.
Devin White.
Devin White. Sorry, I lost the name for a second, but Devin White, and they totally went for him. So I think that was a great move, and it just shows that like right now we are probably the most stacked in free agency right now. So I'm just super pumped, and we'll get to talking about the whole CJ situation in just a little bit. So that'll happen in just about a second.
Yeah, you guys, I know you guys are all looking at me because you guys are all like looking at me like, what do you want to say, Dalt, about CJ GJ? Because I talked shit on him when he left for a long time because he talked shit on us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. We don't forget, man. We do not forget.
Yeah.
So when CJ GJ said that and he was asked that question on his Twitch or whatever, what do you hate the most about people, or what do you, I think it was like or hate. The question was phrased in a way. I'll give it to him.
What do you hate most about Philadelphia fans?
And he just said the people in general.
People.
And it was just a real,
fuckers.
they're obnoxious. And we don't forget that. And you should have stayed here last year, man. What could have been? Yeah. What could have been last year, thinking about it? I don't know that having CJ GJ would have saved the collapse. But having a player like that of that caliber in the secondary, it's definitely going to make it a lot better. But in my opinion, right now, as of Friday, March 15th, 2:41, when we're recording this, CJ GJ is in good spirits with me. I say as of now because who the fuck knows what he's going to say on his Twitch tonight? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's how it goes with these players nowadays. But all in all, we're good, man. You apologized. You did the right thing when you came to Philadelphia. Everything I would have wanted, you did it. You came in. Yeah, you owned your mistake. You owned up to it. You apologize. And man to man, that's what you got to do. So I was really happy and impressed with that from CJ GJ. And welcome home, man. I hope you got your green hair dye ready.
Yeah, I think, as I was saying before, I think last week, him leaving left a bitter taste in my mouth. And I wanted to see him maybe come back and kind of just make up for it. And he did. I think with that apology, it really did make some waves. And hopefully, I mean, this isn't a problem again if he does leave in the future. But it seems like everywhere he leaves, it seems like he has something to say about the place. Like now he's saying some stuff about Detroit. I kind of want him to just stop talking about the teams and whatever. Like, let the franchises be. Detroit's an upcoming franchise. They still are. And, I mean, they've been through a lot. I mean, a lot of those fans have been through a lot. So just kind of let them be. But, yeah, you did a good thing by apologizing and really just going at the situation head on right there and be like, yeah, you know what? I screwed up. I said some things I regret, and I am sorry. I'm truly sorry. So we appreciate that. But, yeah, as Dalt said, we don't forget what you said. But it's a step in the right direction, though. It is.
I think my biggest problem with CJ coming back is when they didn't bring him back last year, a lot of the things we heard are they didn't bring him back because of his maturity. Yet we see, the same pattern kind of happening again with him trashing Detroit fans. Yeah, he apologized to Eagles fans for what he did before, but yet he's still doing the same thing again. So I'm not sure if he's really matured anymore. I mean, I know a lot of people like that he's an asshole, but I just hope it doesn't become too much of a distraction where the locker room had already seemed like it was falling apart last year. Is this going to be even more of a problem? I sure hope not, but I'm not sure type of thing.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And I think there was a lot of problems in the locker room, obviously, and hopefully those can be fixed. Maybe CJ is a guy that kind of gets us focused back, and they'll be like, all right, you already see him going through some drama, so we don't want to add any more drama to this locker room. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. And I think it was good to burn the bridges and kind of just bring them together. So it was good. I like it.
Also, going off of that, there were some more signings. How did you guys feel about the Devontae Parker signing? The one thing I'll say real quick, Howie, where was this 3 years ago when we didn't have A.J. Brown, right? I'm personally a huge fan of it 3 years ago. Right now, I'm indifferent to it. I think it might be a little bit of an overspend for a physical wideout when you could draft a guy, get him in the third or fourth round, let him develop, and he can do the same thing pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty much like another Julio kind of move, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a league minimum deal.
Yeah, so it's a league minimum. He's not going to be here for that long. He wasn't as elite as Julio ever was, but I think it's going to be interesting to see if he gets frustrated with not getting the ball, because you got two great receivers in Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. So, it's really up to Jalen to spread the ball around fairly with them, and then also Dallas Goedert. So, Kellen Moore's got his hands full for sure. He's got a lot of talent that he's got to work with, and it just really depends on what he can do with that talent and if he can bring out the best potential in this offense.
Yeah, we also got to remember they don't have that many receivers on the roster besides AJ and Smitty right now. You got to fill out that roster.
Yeah.
So just because they signed Parker first doesn't mean he's going to be the wide receiver 3. I wouldn't doubt that they don't bring back like Zacchaeus again or draft another guy. But like they used a lot of different receivers in that third receiver role. I'm not too worried about it. And listen, if the dude can catch the football, I don't really care how old he is. Like Julio was decent when he was here. Like he was fine.
Yeah, he was great.
The biggest thing is you can't go and get a big name for that wide receiver 3 position because he's going to want big time targets. And you just can't provide him that, especially now that you signed Saquon. And again, I said it before, Saquon's going to play that slot role a little bit. So Saquon is going to be in that slot, and you have Kenny G back there, or if they draft another running back, I think they're going to rotate them around a little bit. So I don't think it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Probably the smallest deal they made out of all of them, actually, with Parker.
How are you guys feeling about – I'm going to buy the freaking Hennessy jersey right away. That Kelly Green Hennessy jersey is going to go hard. Chris was saying a great point before the show that we need to get Dickerson to switch up. It could be like McCoy. LaShawn McCoy used to wear 29. Then he got 25. The real OGs at the game will rock the 29 McCoy jersey, the ones who really know. So maybe the real OGs will rock the 69 Dickerson jersey. Maybe it's like a term. Everybody gets to take a turn with the 69 jersey. So please give me a 69 Hennessy jersey. But I really like this signing. The Atlanta Falcons, honestly, I think are a very underrated team at developing offensive linemen. So when I saw that the Eagles are bringing in this guy, I was like, all right, this is going to be a pretty good move. I'm pretty sure he's a guard, so that gives us really good depth there where we need it.
Local guy. He's from Temple. It's a local guy.
Oh, that's even better. So he's a Philly guy. So maybe he's taking a little bit of a pay cut. Howie knows what he's doing when it comes to pulling out the heartstrings, right? So I like this signing even more now that you bring that up, Chris, and I can't wait to see what he does. And I'm just going to say this one last time. That Hennessy jersey is going to be a bestseller if this guy ends up playing well in the NFL shop, because all the guys in Philly in the Kelly Green Hennessy jersey with Hennessy in their hands, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to have the jersey really available like that. You would probably have to go to the Eagles Pro Shop specifically.
They'll get it.
Go get it at the Pro Shop.
So sells, yeah.
Or DH Gate will be selling a shit ton of it.
You could probably
somebody's gonna capitalize on that shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. And our buddy
McCoy jersey company.
Yeah, McCoy. Yeah, maybe our buddy. I'm blanking on his name right now. We freaking love him. Dang. He wears all the jerseys. He comes to the freaking Eagles tailgates and everything like that.
There's a lot of people who go to tailgates.
No, they wear jerseys.
Yeah.
Who that wears a jersey? Does he wear a new one every time?
I don't know. Whatever. Just let's move on.
David Bergner?
Yeah, it was Berg. Yeah, David. Yeah, I can see. I can see.
Eagles
jersey David.
Every day.
I'm sorry, David.
Yes, David Bergner. So this
my guy
wears
David.
An Eagles jersey, what, like 200 out of 300?
He wears. Yeah, he wears.
I'm not exactly.
Yeah, that was me in high school. I did that.
No, he like literally has a collection of jerseys. David. David, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I'm really bad with. I'm really bad with names. So yeah, I still love you. Don't worry. But yeah, dude, that guy has some great jerseys, and he's got collections for days. I mean, he makes Matt Bear look like an amateur jersey collector. Sorry, Matt, but this guy does. So yeah, I could see him buying one of those jerseys for sure. I can.
Shout out to David Bergner.
Shout out to David.
You getting a Hennessy jersey, Chris?
Nah, I'm not a Henny guy. Now they come out with a Tito's jersey. We all about it.
Oh my god!
What other signs we get?
We got Brandon Graham,
BG
extension. How did you feel about that, Chris?
Bring him back another year. We've been saying this for a while. Like, as long as BG wants to play, BG can play. Keep him here. He won us the Super Bowl. He's fine.
Yeah. Love BG to death.
I'll actually say you can ask KJ McCoy right here. Before the show, I was pondering on the pond, thinking about it. And I actually said to KJ, I think Brandon Graham isn't a bad signing, but it isn't a good signing either for the Eagles. Where we're at right now with his age, I mean, yeah, it's like bring him back if it makes sense financially, which I guess it did. But, I mean, I'm just...
Oh, my God. The
What?
Eagles just traded for Kenny Pickett.
Are you kidding?
I'm dead serious.
Who'd they trade? What'd they trade?
It says a pick swap. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I'll let you guys know.
Wow.
But
So
Schefter
Kenny
just reported we
Pickett.
got Kenny Pickett.
Wow.
I don't really like that move. I feel like that's kind of a dump
Depending
off.
on the pick swap. Listen, he's going to be a backup. So
He's
what
a
did
backup.
happen to my camera? This is
He's a
Wow.
backup.
Kenny Pickett.
I knew he grew up, and I was just thinking about this too, because Russell Wilson just got signed by the Steelers. And for Kenny Pickett, he grew up in New Jersey. He was actually recruited by Temple to play there. He actually never did, but he played at University of Pitt, and then he went to the Steelers, obviously. But he grew up as an Eagles fan, and he went to a bunch of Eagles games growing up. So, wow, he gets to become a Philadelphia Eagle in reality. So that's pretty crazy. I did hear rumors about, and I think
Do you see that?
what is it?
Holy shit. It's a QB controversy brewing. Oh, my God. Seriously.
Oh, geez.
It's going to happen. Do you think
I don't
QB
think so. I don't think
coming
it's
in?
No.
controversy.
And let me get back to what I'm saying before I get distracted by your dumbness over there.
It will happen.
So, honestly, we heard the rumor before that, and Dalton was talking about it too. Justin Fields was rumored to come here to Philly and be the backup, which I was like, I don't know about that. I can see him being a starter somewhere. I can see him being a starting quarterback somewhere. So I was like, I don't know if that's going to happen. But now Kenny Pickett to the Eagles. Did they say what we gave up?
Pick swap, as he said, as of now, I think.
Pick swap and okay. Yeah, see, so look, he was an Eagles fan.
Oh, my God.
Look at him. There he is.
A.J. Brown, move over. We need, pull it back up, Chris. A.J. Brown, move over.
Oh,
All right, bro. Number 11 is about to be worn by somebody better.
I think that was Mr. Carson Wentz's jersey, probably.
Yeah. I wonder what he does. With that
There he is.
jersey.
And the
Still
Philly
has it.
shirt in the background, too.
Where's he
Yeah.
from?
He's from New Jersey.
Oh,
South
Jersey.
we're in South Jersey.
I don't know exactly.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. My phone is live right now, but hey, shout out to South Jersey boys. There's something in the water over there. I'm just saying.
Some breaking news during the show. Wow, guys. You heard it first.
Breaking news, yet we're pre-recording this, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Ocean
Saturday morning
Township.
as they'll have a
Ocean-
sleep
yeah.
on it.
Ocean Township.
Oh, no, we're in Ocean Township. My parents live in Ocean Township.
That's near Ocean City, right?
Ocean City
No.
is in Ocean County, New Jersey. Maybe it's in
Wow.
Ocean Township too. But Kenny Pickett, I mean, the more I think about it, I guess you guys are right. Mariota's gone. He's going to be a backup somewhere. I just hope that they didn't give up a lot for them. And that's the problem with Eagles fans. They're like, oh, QB controversy. Let's make something out of it when we don't have to. That's the problem with dumbass Philly fans. That's the thing I like, though, now that I think about Kenny Pickett, right? He is a Philly fan. So he feels the pain. The more I think about it, I'm like, all right, if he's a Philly fan, this guy already knows the MO of this team, right? He already knows what he's got to do, what he's got to say, the person that he's got to be, what the standard is around here. So you know what? I'm indifferent to it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. We needed a backup QB. There's other guys out there maybe I would have wanted, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I think he realized that he's right now in this situation that he's a backup quarterback. And you know what, though? He might have to just realize, okay, I got to build myself back to be a starting quarterback. And I mean, I hope he doesn't take Hurts' job. I hope that's not a possibility, but you never know. It's starting. You never know, though. So, I mean, it's just, that's why I think they just brought him as a backup, see what happens. And then, yeah, I mean, they're just going to, this is interesting, though. I mean, they're just going to kind of keep their options open, though.
I like this a lot more than the Fields thing, though. I think he's a better quarterback. I think he's a safer quarterback than Fields. I think Fields is like a home run type guy, where Kenny Pickett is like, you put him out there and he's not going to lose you a football game, but he's also not necessarily going to take over and make you win either. Like, I think he's a better game manager than Fields would be. And that's no slight at
controversy,
Fields.
right? Fields, you would have a clear-cut controversy.
Yeah.
Even though we
yeah.
know Jalen Hurts is better, it's just Fields is that kind of player that you don't really know what you're having. So if Fields was the one thing I will say about not getting Fields is okay, you avoid a QB controversy here, unless we look back on this broadcast in 20 fucking years and Kenny Pickett's holding up 4 or 5 Super Bowls and he's like the next Tom Brady. Well, then I'll eat my hat then gladly. But as of now, it's looking like obviously Jalen Hurts is the future. Bringing in somebody like Justin Fields, well, he may fit the system better. That's kind of why I was not in my head there. I thought he was a better system fit. So at first I was like, oh, okay, Justin Fields.
Pickett's quick though.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that clip at Pitt where he like tried to fake slide and ran for a touchdown?
That was dirty. They had to invent the Kenny Pickett rule now. So who knows? KJ is going to be selling a bunch of Saquon Barkley jerseys at McCoy Jersey Company this year, and now he's going to have Kenny Pickett jerseys in stock too.
I might have to get some Kenny Pickett jerseys in stock. We'll see what we can do. I got to figure out what number he is. And
whoa, the Eagles! Oh no!
Oh what?
I think the Eagles tried to sign Easton Stick. Just re-signed. The Eagles were looking at trying to sign him, from what I saw, and he just re-signed with the Chargers. So I think that's when they traded for Pickett when they knew Stick was going to re-sign.
It's not a horrendous pickup. The more you think about it, the more you're like, okay. The problem is those dumbass Philly fans on WIP that are going to be like, Howie, why the fuck did you?
It'll be interesting to see what this pick swap is, because Mac Jones got a 6th-round pick for him. If we gave up any more than the equivalent of a 6th-round pick, it'd be dumb.
Why are you laughing at Mac Jones, KJ? We're both laughing. Why are you laughing at Mac Jones? Because his fucking mom drives him to the fucking stadium. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Does he really?
Danny Tommy DeVito 2.0.
No, DeVito does. I didn't know.
He said Mac Jones said they asked him, they're like, yo, are you going to be, because he's very close to Jacksonville, I guess. They said, are you going to be staying at home? Sorry, Siri just picked up. They said, are you going to be staying at home? And he said, nah, I don't think I'm going to be staying at home. He's definitely going to be staying at home for a few weeks. Stay tuned. But I'm going to get my own apartment. However, my mom is picking me up in 30 minutes. I like that he has a good sense of humor. That's another one. There shouldn't be any QB controversy with the way that Trevor Lawrence played. And I will say this. KJ brought up a good point when we were on the road on our way down here. That's Jacksonville's really only team. You know what I mean? They don't have a baseball team. They don't have anything else. So to Jacksonville, football is everything. And I really would love to see the Jaguars get it together because they're a fun team to watch.
Yeah, we passed their stadium, and just to think that they only have one team is just it's mind-boggling. So
shout out to Doug Peterson too.
Yeah, shout out to Doug for sure.
Okay, so here was the trade. Steelers get pick 98 and 2025 7th-round pick.
Okay.
And the Eagles get Pickett in 120. So they move back 22 spots and give up a 7th-round pick. That's not bad at all.
22 spots from the 1st-round pick.
So that was it.
Yeah.
Their 3rd-round pick moves down to a 4th-round pick.
Or
and
3rd.
they give up a 7th in 2025.
They stole their 1st rounder?
They stole their 1st and their 2nd, right?
Yeah, they didn't give up any of that. No.
Yeah.
They literally just moved back their 3rd-round comp pick, which they got for Javon Hargrave last year. They moved that back down 22 spots and gave him a 7th-round pick next year. So that's fine for Kenny Pickett. If he's a decent quality backup, that's a steal because I don't think he's making that much money. So, like, to have a cheap backup like that, I mean, we, especially in Philadelphia, we know the value of a good backup. Yeah. If we didn't have Nick Foles in 2017, we're not a Super Bowl champion. So, Am I saying Kenny Pickett's going to win a Super Bowl? No. But Jalen Hurts misses games. He's missed a game pretty much every year of his career. So Pickett will have to play here and there.
Yeah.
Is he okay enough in this system? I mean, with Saquon Barkley, I think he should be. So
keyword thing.
I like this.
Thing we don't know yet.
It's a decent deal.
It's just decent. I think it's decent. Because I don't think we go into like real panic mode when Hurts goes down like we usually do. Because especially with Mariota, I mean, I went into panic mode when Hurts would go down. And I was like, oh, geez, Mariota's in. But now I feel a little more relaxed with Kenny Pickett. I think he could totally be a great backup. I think he kind of realizes that he's got to be a backup here, and he's got to work his way up if he's got to do that. So But I do think Jalen Hurts is still a franchise quarterback, and
there's no doubt about it.
They're not.
They're not.
Some dumbass is going to do it. The real fans will know. You know what I mean? The real fans will know. Okay.
Jalen. See, the one that's got to know is Jalen. Jalen needs to have confidence in himself that he's the starting quarterback. And listen, he's making $250 million. If he doesn't think he's the starting quarterback, I don't know if he should be the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
He can't do what Wentz did when the Eagles drafted Jalen Hurts. I think Wentz went into total panic mode, and he was pissed. And he won't say it, but I really do think he was.
I think that's really more speculation by WIP that people are repeating over and over again.
What I'm saying?
Yes.
Maybe.
I don't think Carson Wentz really cared.
I mean, I've kind of thought to myself as well, even without 94 saying it. I was like, there's no way that this doesn't bother Wentz. And from what the performance I saw from Wentz that year, I was like, there's got to be something bothering him.
Yeah.
Because Wentz was a great mile. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
It was the injuries that piled up on him.
Yeah.
And the lack of, he didn't have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith.
Yeah, that's why I think it pissed him off in a way. He was like, instead, you can use this capital on such a better player for me, Howie, dipshit, and you're drafting a QB. But all in all, guess what? Guess who's not the dipshit? Howie. He knows the value of a good QB. So it ended up working out because, like KJ said, I mean, that freaking year before with Wentz sucked. And all love to Wentz and everything that he did for our Super Bowl. We all, as Philly fans, appreciate that. I know we give him that love all the time. But unfortunately, the man was not a long-term solution for this team. So it feels like it's the everlasting carousel for Eagles fans since McNabb of just hoping that we're going to get a franchise QB, that somebody that'll stay here longer than 4 years, 5 years? Yeah. So, I mean, that's all I got for you guys, unless you guys have anything else. That was a pretty good show.
The Eagles also re-signed Braden Mann, who I've been banging the drum for.
Punter, who I put indifferent to on my list because I couldn't give a fucking shit about.
He had the best statistical season as an Eagles punter ever last year. Do your research, Dalton.
To me, it's like Madden. It's like I like that this team goes for it. But hey, I'm glad that we have a punter because nobody to me will ever be as good as Donnie Bag of Bones Jones. That's like the best name ever. Bring him back.
We need a better name. We need a better name for man then.
Yeah, we do need a name for man. Something that's going to have to do with genitals, probably.
The Man Center.
Probably.
No, in Philadelphia, it's going to do with genitals, probably.
Yeah, probably.
The Man Center. That's what I go with. The one in West Philly.
Oh, yeah, the Man Center. There you go. Maybe.
Even though he doesn't play center, but the Man
Center.
Yeah,
that's what my first thought was.
Yeah. I just kind of realized that now.
But that's all we got for you guys. Like we said, be sure to like, subscribe. Be sure to subscribe on Chaos Chris's YouTube page if you're watching on there. Be sure to subscribe on 302 Birds if you're watching on there. Be sure to give all three of us a follow on TikTok at official KJ McCoy, at 302 Birds, and then at Chaos Chris PHL. And hopefully the Eagles do, I will say, make some interesting news or something big. Because I'm not going to say we hope that doesn't happen in the next 24 hours. This has been a wild ride, a fun free agency to watch. But as of Saturday at 3 o'clock, reporting live. Thanks for watching Sippin' Sports. Anything else, gentlemen?
Don't ban TikTok.
Small hands pick it, baby.
Small hands pick it. I think that's a perfect way to leave it off. Take care, guys. Happy Saturday.
More